All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation and much respect to you brothers out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right, Shalom, I'm a Hebrew Israelite here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, to speak about the upliftment of God's chosen people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, according to the Bible. All right, so first and foremost, we start this off with I want to start this off with Jeremiah 5:26, man. All right, because you have a lot of wicked Israelites out there, man. All right, because even though Israel is going to be delivered ultimately, all right, 2/3 have to be wiped out. Okay, because 2/3 are no good. 2/3 are just wicked. All right. Because they're not coming back to the Lord and doing the right things according to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see, and being an Israelite, not being a black person or a Latino or a Native American, but being an Israelite according to the Bible. Okay, because that's our true heritage. All right, we're not black, we're not Latino. All right, we're not Native American. Okay, those are all bywords that were given to you by your enemy. Okay. So let me start this. This is Jeremiah 5 and verse 26. It says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men." All right. So amongst Israel, there's a lot of wicked people, man. All right. Even going back to the time of Moses, when Moses was bringing us through the Red Sea, you see, you had that whole generation had to die out first. All right, before we went into the Promised Land. Why? Because they were wicked. They were rebellious. You see? The Most High would tell them to do something, and they would do the opposite. So this is the same situation that we're in now. We're amongst a bunch of rebellious Israelites. So that's why the Most High said 2/3 of them would have to be destroyed. You see? You get Zechariah 13 and 8. Because you have some Israelite groups that are saying that basically you have to try and save all Israel. We're here for all Israelites. We're not here for all Israelites, man. All right? We're only here for the elect. The elect is the only ones that are going to get this truth in this time, man. All right? This is Zechariah 13 and verse 8. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." All right, so 2 parts represents 2/3. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, will be destroyed. All right, why? Because you're not coming back to your true heritage. You're not coming back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities. You see, you want to ignore what the prophets are out here telling you, right, and do what you want, do your own thing. So the Most High said 2/3 of you, the majority. Okay, because when you look at 2/3, it's about 66.6%. All right, 2/3 of you will be destroyed. Okay, but the 1/3, the rest of the remnant, all right, will be delivered. And it says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried." So we're going to be tried through that fire, which is that affliction. Okay. So all the afflictions that we go through even now, this is the beginning of the trying, the refining, right? Because when you put gold and silver in the fire, what happens? It comes out purified. You see? It takes out all the impurities. You see? And it says, and there's a saying that says, "Suffering builds character." And that's true. And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, "It is my people," and they shall say, "The Lord is my power." Okay, so that's only the elect who's going to be able to say that. All right, the 2/3 are going to have to die out first. Okay, so there's going to be a great cleansing of our nation. All right, starting with the 2/3. The 2/3 are going to have to go. All right, but the 1/3, the ones who get their mind right, get their mind on the right track, all right, they're going to be delivered. You see, if you're not of the 1/3, if you're not of the elect, there's nothing we can really do for you. We can't make you get this truth, right? There's even some jakes where I see they actually want to get the truth, and they're kind of mad that they can't get the truth. But that's because the Most High didn't give it to them. You see, the Most High has to choose you in order for you to understand this. This is not a normal. This is not the average knowledge that you get, from a textbook, man. This is deep knowledge that came from on high, man. All right, came from the throne of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Heavenly Father. All right, so this is the knowledge that we have and that we're given to the elect. All right, that's the ones who we're really looking at. All right, because the elect, but we don't know who the elect is, but we're preaching, and the elect are going to be drawn in by the word. You see? Let's get Romans 9 real quick. This is Romans 9. This is Romans 9 verse. I'll start at verse. Start at verse 2. That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. All right, so Paul's basically saying he wished he could have went on the cross in the place of Yahushua for his brethren, not for all these other nations. He didn't say he wished he would have went on the cross for these Gooks or these Ishmaelites. You understand? He said he wished he could have went on the cross for his fellow brethren. All right? Which shows you this book is not dealing with everybody. It's not dealing with the whole world, man. All nations. All right? That's not what this book is talking about, man. This book is dealing with a specific people. All right? Which are the Israelites. Okay? Which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. So now he's going into everything that pertains to the Israelites. The adoption. What was the adoption? The Lord dying on the cross was the adopting back to the Father, man. Okay? Why? Because he casted us off at one point. You see? And it says, and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. So all that pertains to the Israelites, which shows you that Muhammad wasn't a prophet, man. All right? They try and put that in there, but that's not true, because it says that all that pertains to the Israelites. Okay? He was not an Israelite. He's an Ishmaelite. All right? He comes from the line of Ishmael. All right? The Arabs come from Ishmael. They know that. All right? Which was Abraham's son, but he wasn't of the chosen. There was a chosen line which went through Isaac, and then Jacob, which we are. We're the Israelites on the side of our forefathers, Jacob. Okay? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're one people. You see? Let's continue. It says, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever. Amen. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, right? Not as though I'm preaching for no reason, or any brothers out here speaking for no reason, right? Even though you have Israelites that walk by and they don't listen, they don't take heed, right? It says, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. All right, which means that just because they're Israelites based upon their lineage, they're not Israelites spiritually. Okay, the majority of these people are not Israelites spiritually, and the only ones who are going to get this are the elect, which are Israelites physically and spiritually. All right, that's the difference. You see, so it's not like we're out here doing this for no reason, because he said, Paul said what? He's not as one that beateth the air. You see? So this is going to reach who it needs to reach. At the end of the day, we put this up on YouTube, on the Unicorn, and this is going to reach who it needs to reach. And the elect is going to hear it, and something's going to click in their mind to come to take a step towards the truth and inquire more. All right? Just as all of us came into this. All right? We heard the apostles and the elders on the YouTube, right? For the majority of us, right? We heard them on the YouTube, and we said, listen, this is the truth. All right? And then we came, and the Spirit got on us to come out and push the word the same way. All right? And that's what's going to happen to every member of the elect. Okay? And it says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. right? So that the same way that all Abraham's children were not of the chosen, all Israelites are not of the chosen. Okay? The brothers out here that doing what we're doing, we're Israelites who have been called. You see? In the end, we'll find out if we were the chosen. We were the chosen out of Israel. Okay? Because amongst the chosen, there's a chosen. All right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They come out here and they try and preach to all Israel and they get mad when a certain Israelite doesn't get it. But he didn't get it because the Most High didn't open his mind to receive it, man. He didn't open his third eye to receive this truth. Okay? This is not a carnal thing. This is why the so-called white man can't get it. Or these gooks or any other nation can't get it, man. Because it's not a carnal thing. All right? It's a spiritual thing. All right? Which was only given to us. All right? But 2/3 of the nation of Israel, like I said, are not going to receive it. Let's get Isaiah, the 6th chapter, real quick. This is Isaiah 6 and verse 9, all right? It's the Most High speaking to Isaiah. And it says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. And see ye indeed, but perceive not. So they're hearing the words, but they're not understanding it. They don't understand what's really going on, right? It's going over their head. Why? Because their third eye is not open. You see what I'm saying? The Most High hasn't opened their pineal gland to receive that. You see? And it says, make the heart of this people fat. Excuse me. And make their ears heavy. And shut their eyes, which is talking about what? Their third eye. You see? Because the Most High doesn't want every Israelite to get it. There's certain Israelites that are made for destruction, that are made to be destroyed. You see? Lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Right? So the Most High would have to heal them if they were to understand this. That's why he doesn't want them to understand this. You see? Which shows you that what? The majority of our people are sick. You see? Because what? They need healing. That's what he said. It said that they would have to be healed, which means that they're sick. Okay? When you look at the Israelites, right? In every place that they are on the earth right now, it's a low condition. You see what I'm saying? It's the ghetto, it's the projects, all right? Their health is deteriorating. You see what I'm saying? They have hatred towards one another. Okay? And that's also due to the devil, the so-called white man, right? Because he set you up for that. He cultivated that shit. That culture you have now that's not your culture going back to the ancient world, man. That was a manufactured culture, man. Right? This gangster rap and all this shit. The so-called white man came up with that shit, man. Leor Cohen and the rest of those top execs, when it comes to the music industry, they had a meeting, right, around the time of NWA to actually to change the way the music was going. And back then, the music was going in more of a positive, love yourself type of vibration. They changed that towards that NWA gangster rap, kill this nigga, kill that nigga, right? And they turned that to be part of your culture. That's what the so-called white man did. You see what I'm saying? But you Jakes, you embrace that. You see? You embrace what your enemy gave you. And now look at you. You see? And it says, matter of fact, let me jump to let me get Psalm 62 real quick, because that goes into it. Esau's whole purpose is to make sure that you Israelites stay on a low level, man. Okay? That's when they have their meetings, their meeting, the UN meetings and all that, okay, where you Jakes are not invited, right? They think of different ways to trap you Jakes up, man. Okay? You see, they cast spells. They have their little witches and warlocks. They cast spells on you Jakes, man. You Israelites. All right? So this is a serious battle that we're in, man. You Jakes are at war. You don't even know you're at war. A lot of you don't even know you're at war. Some Jakes are starting to wake up to it now, but they don't know the depth of the war, how serious it is, man. All right? Because this is serious, man. Esau, his mind, the way his mind works is on a high level. Like, he'll think of starting Planned Parenthood, right? and they'll promote it as something good. Oh no, oh guess what? It's your body, your choice. But then when you look at the statistics now, who's the main people getting abortions, man? You so-called black women, man. I mean, it's the numbers are ridiculous, man. All right, we're talking. It has to be close to millions of babies, man. So I believe it's millions, man, a year. All right. So that's low-key genocide right there, man. That's low-key genocide. You see? So that's the mindset of these devils. These devils set up something like that and promote it as something good, but really, the ulterior motive behind it is negative. It's wicked. It's evil. You see? Let's get Psalm 62 real quick. This is Psalm 62. Start at verse. I'll start at Psalm 62, verse 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. All right? And who's the him? Him is speaking about us, the Israelites. All right? They only consult to cast us down from our excellency. All right? Because the elites, the average peon, Edomite and other nations, they don't know what's really going on. All right? They don't know that you Israelites ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Or they don't know that history, man. That we actually had these Edomites in slavery. Okay? Some Edomites are starting to figure it, but it's only a few of them that really know that. You see? So they know what Jake is capable of, man. Right? Going back to even Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? And Black Wall Street, right? Where we had our own currency. That was post-slavery, right? About a couple years after slavery, man. We had our own currency, had a city that was all basically affluent, it was prosperous. And what did Edomites do, man? They destroyed it, man. Okay? So Esau knows in the back of his head that you have potential to surpass him. You see? So what he tries to do is tries to keep you on that low level. All right? Let me read that again. It says they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly, man. So an Edomite will say, hey, how you doing? Smile, shake your hand. But inwardly, he's cursing you, man. Inwardly, he's calling you all kind of niggers, this and that. You see what I'm saying? Spit, this and that. You feel what I'm saying? That's how Esau, that's how he moves. See? And that's why Gad, the Native Americans, what did they call Esau? They called him a forked tongue, which means he says one thing, but he does another. Okay? Which is why we also call you the devil. All right? It's not by coincidence. It's based upon your actions. Not based upon the way you look. All right? It's based upon what have you done on the planet Earth. What has been what has your rulership been like? What have you done to other people, man? You see? This is why we get on you, man. All right? And it's not really us getting on you. It's really the Most High that's getting on you, man, through us. All right? He's just using us as a vessel to tell you the truth. Okay? And that's the biggest threat to white supremacy is the truth. All right? Let's continue. This is let me read that again as a matter of fact, man, because that's potent, man. This is Psalm 62 and 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies, right? They delight in lies, man, which means they love to lie. You see? So when you see an Edomite, you speak to an Edomite, you should be thinking in your head, man, what this guy's saying is lies, man. All right? What this Edomite is saying is nothing but a bunch of lies. You see? You're able to pick out the bones in what they say. Okay? But the average Jake doesn't know that. The average Israelite won't consider that because they think that they look at them as the same. They look at them, we're all the same. We're all pink inside, right? Esau doesn't think that way, man. All right? He does not think that way. And his actions show that. Okay? There's a reason why Flint is having a water crisis in Springfield, California ain't having no water crisis, man. All right? Or that these reserves are having all these type of water issues, but these Edomite neighborhoods don't have water issues like that. Because Esau knows what he's doing, man. All right? He knows exactly what he's doing. He purposely puts certain poisons in waters that are predominantly Israelites, man. Predominantly so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is the depth of his hatred. You see what I'm saying? So you jakes, if you don't realize that or wake up to that, then you're heading for destruction. Okay? But we know for a fact that only the 1/3, only the elect is going to wake up to that. Right? 2/3 are going to continue to be blind. All right? Right? So you have to ask yourself those questions, man. Why is it only those neighborhoods that have that? First of all, the low quality foods, right? There's a fast food restaurant on every damn corner. Okay? McDonald's. You go to the hood, man, in Brooklyn and in these different places, man. All right? There's nothing but McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all right? Popeyes, all right? Then you have those little corner stores that sell nothing but poison, man. But you go to Esau neighborhood, you'll have a Whole Foods. You'll have even their water bottles are different. The apostles went into that. They'll have the same brand of water, right? But it'll be in a different bottle. It'll taste different, okay? Because these Edomites, they're secretly trying to poison you, man. Okay? It goes into what I'm reading. They're trying to cast you down from your excellency, man. Right? When you do that, when you're eating a bunch of madness, a bunch of abominations, a bunch of poison, that affects your mind. All right? It affects your mind, and when it affects your mind, guess what? That affects your vibration. Okay? So Esau knows that, man. Esau's not stupid, man. Esau's not a dummy. Okay? But he's wise in wickedness. That's the difference, man. All right? Let's get Psalm 64 real quick. This is Psalm 64, and I'll start at verse 1. Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And who's the enemy, man? The top enemy being the Edomites. All right? But then you have all these other nations who are also your enemy. Okay? Which the scripture says what? That the dogs would lick your wounds. Right? And that's what they did. The dogs licked our wounds. You see what I'm saying? Speaking about the other nations, the heathens. Okay? Because when you go into the hood, right? None of those things are owned by you Israelites, for the most part. Okay? They're owned by other nations, right? Whether it be the Chinese, the East Indians, the Arabs. Okay? You jakes don't own nothing, man, in your own neighborhoods. You see? And it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right? Like I was just speaking about one of the secret councils they had, man, which is what? Planned Parenthood. That was a secret council that they had, man. All right? We're going back to what? Margaret Sanger. And that bitch was a devil, man. She was Satan incarnate, bro. You see what I'm saying? She literally said it, man. One of the quotes was, we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. That's how these devils think, man. All right? So you can't be trying to, oh no, maybe it's not. If you think that way, you're an idiot, man. Okay? You got to be looking out to these devils. Every single one of them is the same way, right? Because every single one of them were with it. All right? They weren't protesting against it, man. It's like slavery, man. They weren't, that whole civil rights shit, that was bullshit, man. That wasn't to free you Israelites. That had nothing to do with you. Okay? That was about the economy. That was about them succeeding from the Union. That's all that was about, man. All right? Abraham Lincoln, he even wrote, it was Abraham Lincoln, he even wrote it. It was Abraham Lincoln. He wrote in the note that he doesn't want to abolish slavery. He already said that, bro. All right? That was not his purpose, okay? That whole thing was based upon the economy, man. It had nothing to do with you, okay? So don't let Esau try and make himself out to be a hero when he's nothing but a villain, man, okay? Let's continue. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And that's bitter words, man. All right? That's bitter words. Basically, the devil said he wanted to keep you in slavery, man. He said, my purpose, I don't agree with abolishing slavery whatsoever, man. All right? That's what he said. All right? So you're looking at this guy as you some of you jakes, right, will have a picture of Martin Lucifer Coon, and you have a picture of that Abraham Lincoln, but that nigga didn't care about you. You see? You see? He wanted to keep you in that condition that you were in. All right? But that's Esau painting himself as some type of hero. You see? Because he wants to be a villain and a hero at the same damn time, man. You can't be a villain and a hero at the same time, man. All right? He's just a villain. That's it. Okay? But the way he paints history and he paints himself, and they actually think that he's actually this big. When you go to Latin America, man, go to Latin America, man. They're full of white supremacy in their brain, man. All right? That Telemundo, oh my goodness. They don't even show people with brown skin on that, man. All right? So Esau has done a number on you Israelites, man. He's really done a number on you jakes. Okay? Let's continue. It says that and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Right? And the perfect represents you Israelites. Okay? And it says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. So they encourage themselves in those evil things, man. When you see those signs, the signs that we have, right, with Jake hanging and lynching, right, which they would call that picnics, right? They would send that as postcards. They encourage themselves in that, man. They were all confederate with that. They were all cool with that. All right? When you look at the pictures, you don't see any sad faces, man. You don't see anyone with a sad face, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. No, they were all with it. They were all encouraging themselves to do it. All right? Because that's the hatred they have for you. You see what I'm saying to you? That's the wickedness that's what's inside them. You see? So them right now, they're putting on a front, man. Okay? Let me read that again, man. He said, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of lame snares privily. They say, who shall see them, man? So they have this counsel within themselves, all right, and say, okay, let's put this in their water over here, all right? We'll give them this food, all right? We'll promote this to them, right? Because knowing that we're the Israelites, because the elites know that, man. The Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, they know that we're Israelites. They know that they come from the house of Esau, okay? Through their father's line. It's all about who your father is, man, all right? So they know that. So what they do is they try and, like the other scripture I read said, cast us down from our excellency, man. So they'll promote wickedness to you so that we can go on. You see? You see, and Jakes fell right into the trap. Now if you look at the average Israelite, the sleeve of tattoos, man, right? Tattoos on the face and shit. That's some bug out shit, man. All right? We weren't doing that before, man. All right? That came going back to what, like late 90s, they started to do tattoos every now and then. But before that, the 80s, they weren't doing no tattoos, man. Okay? That wasn't amongst our people, man. Now look at them. They're all bugged out, man. Doing tattoos on the face and shit. All right? But that's based upon them promoting that to you. That's based upon you, on all these rappers, right? Which the music label, they want to sign certain rappers and put out certain music, right? That's why the positivity doesn't get promoted or put on radio, right? What they do is they put those type of rappers, 21 Savage and these bug outs, okay? And you that becomes part of your culture. All right? Which turns you into what? Wickedness, man. It makes you like them. All right? So you Jakes gotta wake up, man. You Jakes gotta see the system and see what your enemy is doing, man. All right? And realize that, and then change your ways, man. Okay? It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and their heart is deep, man. They're thinking deep. The elite, when you look at the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, they think deep of wickedness, man. All right? You Jakes are thinking about how you're gonna spend your $500 check, $400 check, right? Even if you got some, even if you're getting $10,000 check, you're trying to figure out what car you're gonna buy, all right? Or what home can I buy, all right? These elites, they're thinking on a way higher level than that, man. They're thinking about setting up coups in certain nations. For example, Venezuela. All right, that's an example. All right, set up certain coups that they can go and steal their oil reserves. So they're thinking deep. Okay, they're not thinking like you think, man. Let me read that again. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. All right, so they think deep of wickedness. All right, so they ain't thinking like you. All right, they're thinking about 20 years down the line. Okay, because just look at you, Jakes, how you are now compared to how you were in the 70s, man. That's a huge change, man. All right, that's a huge difference, man. Right? Before the 60s, how would you say it? The single parent household was almost non-existent among so-called black people, man. All right? In the 60s was almost non-existent. We always had a father in the household. What happened after that? With that Martin Luther King, that piece of shit, all right? He wanted you to integrate with your enemy. And that was the worst decision you could have made ever, man. Because after that, what happened? Single family household increased, man. All right? The woman done jumped ship. She jumped on the feminist movement, man. All right? So now, keep the man out of the house, right? And then we'll pay you this amount of money. All right? Keep having children with different men and whatever, and we'll pay you for each child you get. So that became a hustle. All right? Now you can look at it now, man. All right? Down near pretty much 50% single parent households, man, or more. All right? Amongst Israelites. So that's the difference, man. This is where you have gone based upon the secret counsel of the wicked, man. Your enemy. All right? But you Jakes don't consider that. You Jakes don't want to adhere to that. You just want to live. No, let me just live. Because you're not thinking about, because we know this place is almost out. This so-called white man's on his way out. This kingdom is done, man. All right? Once World War III hits, that's it, man. All right? But you Israelites, you're thinking that this place will continue, right? But if it will continue, what will be your condition 20 years from now? You see? Because if that already happened in a period, the span of what, 40 years, right? You went from what you were in the 60s to what you are now, right? Let's say 58 years, right? What's going to happen 20 years down the line, man? Or 30 years down the line, if you want to think that way. You Jakes will be completely finished, man. Okay? Yo, Jake don't know, man. Jake thinks it's a joke, man. You know? Jake thinks this thing is a real joke. But Esau's not playing. Esau don't think this is a joke, man. Esau's thinking on a high level, man, with his wickedness, man. All right? He's not thinking on a low level, man. All right? Let me get Ecclesiasticus 12. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 10. It's Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 10, and it says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." So the scriptures told you to never trust your enemy, right? If the Native Americans get the Gadites, according to the Bible, our brothers, if they were to take that into consideration, this would have never happened. All right? Esau would have never exterminated the majority of them. All right? They would have not been on drugs right now. All right? They would not be all fucked up and obese right now and out of shape. All right? They would be flourishing on their side of the earth. All right? But Esau, what he did was he came in, right? And he came in the guise of peace, right? Oh, we're just here for peace. And he stabbed them in the back, man. All right? So now look at them. Right? They were one of the highest suicide rates, if not the highest. All right? That's the poorest in North America is the Native Americans. It's not even it's not the so-called black neighborhood, the Latino, it's the Native Americans, man. They're in the poorest state right now. You see? Completely finished. But that's all based upon them trusting their enemy. Let me continue with that. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. So though he comes to you in a nice tone, oh, how you doing? You know, yo, Esau, he speaks with a high-pitched, faggoty voice, right? Though he comes to you that way, all right? What does it say? It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, right? Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, right? So you have to beware of him, take heed, man, right? Because he's the same devil, he's just coming in a different way, right? So if like I said, if the Native Americans took this scripture to mind, took it to heart, right? That would have never happened to them. You see? And it says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. All right? So when you really look at this devil, you're going to realize that he's the same evil devil that he always was, man. All right? Or that they always were. You see? Because Esau never changed, man. Everything he's doing around the world to these other nations is the same thing he did. You see? He's going to trying to get to Syria. He's trying to get into Venezuela, right? And through false guides, right? Which people are starting to figure it out now. But he's going there through false pretenses, trying to say, oh, we're coming to liberate the people, right? But then when you look at it, right, those people, the places that he so-called liberates, those places are completely destroyed, man. Look at Iraq. That place is in Libya. Libya was doing good before, right? And then once they killed Gaddafi because he wanted to go to the gold standard, all right, and wanted to leave the dollar, he didn't want to play their game, right? Now Libya is a complete shithole for lack of better terms, man. All right, because Esau came in, man, right? Because Esau's not just an enemy to us. He's really an enemy to all nations, man. Although these other nations are confederate with him, he's really an enemy to them as well, man. Right? Because we didn't drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. All right? It wasn't a Jake who did that. It wasn't Ishmael who did that. That was the so-called white man who did that shit. You see? Right? And not only to people, but to animals too. Esau's just the adversary in every way, man. All right? And it says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. You see? So you don't set him next to you. Don't tell him, don't make him a business partner on that level. You see? Where he has control over certain. No. Esau has to be completely always watched, always in subjection, man. All right? Because otherwise, what is he going to do? He's going to try and overtake you. All right? He's going to try and stab you in the back because he's not a man of honor, man. All right? Like I said, the Native Americans, if they would have took that into consideration, that would have never happened. You see? Right? Not only them, but any nation that Esau did business with, he stabbed them in the back eventually. Every single nation. There's not one nation that he didn't try to stab in the back. Even his own people, man. All right? So that whole point being is that he's the devil, man. All right? Matter of fact, let's get John 10:10.